is the Bitcoin crash over? Could the price still go on to find a new low? And just how long is this downtrend for Bitcoin likely to last? Well, we may not be out of the woods quite yet. In spite of some very bullish news we actually had today, Bitcoin might still go on to find a new low during this correction. My name's Lark, and every day I make videos to help you make money investing. So if that's what you want to do, subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up button, and click on the bell to make sure you catch all of my videos. Let's just get straight into the charts here. So the selling for Bitcoin reached a peak low around $45,000 today. Now that is a total of a 23% drop from peak down to the $45,000 bottom. We have since that point rallied higher on the back of two very bullish news stories today, which we're going to talk about in a couple of minutes. The price now recovering almost half of the losses of the day, but looking past this kind of short-term bounce that we're seeing, the weekly RSI is still showing a bearish breakdown that could see us stuck under $58,000 and really unable to go on to hit a new high for a few weeks. The current RSI is actually the lowest on the weekly that it has been since October, which is pretty crazy. It's now looking to exit the overbought territory that's basically been in since that time and move back into the purple box, more sort of neutral RSI area. The most important thing here is to stay above the midline on the RSI. At no point during the 2017 bull run, no matter how bad the dips were, did the RSI ever drop under 50. It did come down to test the upper 50s and the lower 60s a few times after these massive bearish divergences played out, but it never went under 50. And I know I mentioned it yesterday, but the last two times we had a big bearish divergence, exactly like we're seeing right now on the weekly RSI, actually resulted in a correction for the Bitcoin market lasting around 6 weeks with an average of a 38% price drop from peak down to the bottom. I still think that $42,000, that would be the bottom target here if we do see further corrections in the market, should the market turn even more bearish in the coming days or weeks. That being said, I believe this is just another pit stop on our way to 6-digit Bitcoin. Remember that in the last bull run, Bitcoin had multiple multi-week corrections. The current price action, it's nothing out of the ordinary for Bitcoin. In fact, this price action kind of reminds me of what we saw happening after Bitcoin hit $42,000 back at the start of the year. So what did we see? Bitcoin topped at $42,000 and then it dropped like a rock, hitting a low of 31% down during that total corrective and accumulation period. That period lasted for about a month. Currently, Bitcoin has lost 23% from peak to bottom. Now, I would like to point out, too, that post $42,000, the $42,000 top, we did see a relief rally, like we're starting to see form up right now, that failed, and then we went on to hit a lower low. So seeing something similar to that happen now would not, in my opinion, be crazy at all. Bitcoin, right now, it is in a downtrend until we break and close a daily candle above the green line on the chart here. Currently, that's around $55,000. Until that point, Bitcoin is in a downtrend. That downtrend could last for a few days or a few weeks. We could even see Bitcoin finding a new price correction, a new bottom during this price correction, so be prepared for that. The bearish weekly RSI supports the thesis that we could see the downtrend hit some lower lows before actually recovering and bouncing back above that green line. I personally welcome a nice correction and accumulation period. Always nice to accumulate Bitcoin at reasonable prices before it takes off even higher to hit 6 digits. A big thank you to BlockFi for sponsoring today's episode. So you can earn a safe and simple passive income with BlockFi's interest accounts. You can earn 5.25% on Ethereum, 6% on Bitcoin, 6.5% on Litecoin, and 8.6% on USDC dollar stable coins. All you need to do, deposit your funds, either crypto or via a bank transfer, and BlockFi does the rest. They pay out your interest at the start of every month. Just set it and forget it. Their flex pay option even lets you get paid out in the currency of your choice. So for example, you can deposit USDC dollar coins and get paid out in Bitcoin, let you dollar cost average into Bitcoin without actually buying Bitcoin. Just keep your dollars on hand and get paid out in Bitcoin. Sign up below for BlockFi using the link just down below me here, and you'll be eligible to receive up to $250 in a Bitcoin bonus when starting your account. Just use the link right below me here in the description. Okay, now in spite of the current bearish mood for Bitcoin, we did actually get some massively bullish news for Bitcoin today. Square has announced that they have bought another $170 million worth of Bitcoin. That's amazing. Publicly traded company is doubling down on Bitcoin. They now have 5% of their corporate cash holdings in Bitcoin. That's, of course, when we include the $50 million worth of Bitcoin that they bought back before Bitcoin even passed over $20,000. Super excited to see Square doubling down on Bitcoin. They just put 1% of their cash reserves in back in 2020. Now they all the way up to 5% of their cash reserves. Pretty awesome. Oh, and as well, it's really important to point out, Square also sold Bitcoin to 1 million new customers. 1 million new customers on their Cash App in January. That's wild. I know that institutions buying massive amounts of Bitcoin like Square just did with their 170 million purchase of Bitcoin. That makes a catchy headline. It's very exciting. But think about this. If every one of those new customers on Cash App bought just $170 worth of Bitcoin, that would equal the same amount of Bitcoin that Square just bought. Likely, people bought a lot more than $170 worth of Bitcoin. This is very exciting for me because it means that retail is definitely showing up for this bull market. So don't for a moment discount or downplay the ability of retail investors' combined strength monetarily to pump these markets like crazy. And I do want to mention too that, of course, today we also saw a lot of massive purchases of Bitcoin over on Coinbase. So Bitcoin whales, institutions, hedge funds, family offices, billionaires, millionaires, all these guys, they love panic sellers. They love buying the dip. They want to eat up all the Bitcoin they can, and they ate heartily under $50,000. Don't let them get your Bitcoin, guys. And finally, for today, the Tether FUD, it's finally over. Tether has settled with the New York Attorney General office. They admitted no wrongdoing, and they are paying an $18.5 million fine. As well as that, they're going to be prohibited from being able to be used in the state of New York. It's over, guys. The Tether FUD's done. Just like that. See you later, Tether FUD. Personally, this makes me very happy because it just removes the threat of a Tether-induced market crash. We don't have to worry about that happening anymore. Tether can keep on tethering, doing the stuff that it does. It can keep being used as the primary dollar of many of the world's exchanges. That's fine by me. Personally, I'm going to keep using USDC as my go-to stablecoin. I still don't like Tether as a company, but I'm happy that we have settled the Tether nonsense once and for all. We don't have to worry about this FUD event hanging over the market anymore. It's done. See you later, Tether FUD. Your question for the day. Do you think that Bitcoin could still go lower during this correction period? Or do you think that $45,000 was the bottom? Let me know down below in the comments section. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and peace out till next time.